Hi Stevian family, it's Lila Star, and today I am sharing with you words of wisdom that help each of us be embodied in unity consciousness. So what do I mean by that? I mean we are going for a world that works for everyone. So aligning our intention and attention, our focus on mutual benefit, so that my action is good for you, your action is good for me. So releasing all of that separation consciousness. And within this, again, our intention, our heart is to serve truth. So we're asking, what is truth? How may I know more truth? Show me truth. And that's tuning to the big heart, the big mind, the third eye field where truth lives. And so dialing into source. So this is important to me and for us. And again, dialing into love, into source, into that big heart, into that highest good for all, that divine order. So intending that we're dialing ourselves, that we're making space in our body, in our life, in our mind, in our heart for love, for source, for God. Unity, unity. Unity in diversity. Unity is the opposite of separation. So we're looking at where can we align, what can we agree on, like clean water, nourishing food, housing, basic technology, what can we agree on? And within all of this, acting and manifesting from a field of perfect love and perfect trust. So feeling ourselves, knowing that we're guided, that what we're doing is always the best we can be doing, and just holding ourselves in this big field of perfect love and perfect trust. So we release all that doubt that can really hold us back in the solar plexus when we feel this in every cell of our being. Consciousness is midwifing itself. So we are love, we are consciousness, we are the thought forms that make up this reality. You may have heard of the term morphogenetic or morphogenic field. Morphogenic field. So, where are our thought forms creating reality, or how are they? So what are we believing to be is possible and real is. So let's get our thought forms aligned with a world that works for everyone. And devotion. So where are we devoting our efforts? Where do we feel impassioned to serve, to give ourselves in our honor and our grace? What are we serving? Are we serving a happy, healthy humanity? Or are we serving something else? So getting really clear on what we're devoting ourselves to. And within this magical manifestation, we ask to be shown. So we know that we're channels, that we allow this bigger heart, this bigger field of spirit to come through us. And we ask to be shown, and then we become aware and create space in the day to receive the signs, the synchronicities, to receive the lessons of what is for our highest and best, and for the highest and best of everyone. And again, that's the allowance. So then allowing. So we're not always in a do mode, but we're often balancing that with a be, with the allowance of receiving the messages, receiving the guidance, receiving the wisdom of what we are to do next, and then following that with confidence and joy. And within all of this, a great place to start is with gratitude. The gratitude key will unlock your joy and happiness. If we awake in the morning and we find things to be joyful and grateful for in our present moment, we carry that vibration throughout the day, and we can magnetize more gratitude towards us, and more experiences and more aspects of our everyday life that we are just experiencing more and more and more and more gratitude. So we want to let this gratitude field snowball every day. Magic. And create space for listening. And coming back to this one again, this is like meditating. and creating space to receive, and rather than always doing and always creating and always outputting energy and effort, it's really important that we create space to receive the messages, receive the wisdom, receive the musings of the universe, so we can share in bigger ways. Your magical workspace. This is really important to me. Where you go to work, your home, your car, wherever you play outside. It's important that we find ourselves creating order and surrounding ourselves with beauty and being in environments that reflect our higher self and reflect that potential, that person that we are becoming, that we are. That we create sacred space in our lives, in our bathrooms, anywhere that keeps tuning us and reminding us of what we're here for, of the magic of existence, of what we're passionate about. And within this, in this world of unity consciousness, love is the bottom line. You may have heard of the triple bottom line, which is balancing profit, people with planet, so serving all three. There's a quadruple bottom line, which is passion, so your real like dharma, your service, with serving people, planet, and profit. And at the end of the day, love is the bottom line to all of this business. Why do we do business? We do business to serve one another, to serve needs, to meet needs. And if there isn't love in that equation, we're missing the point. So this is where we keep coming back to. So we're revolutionizing business in a way that the old paradigm can fall away now, and we're coming into a more holistic way of being and serving, and more abundance. And abundance for all. So we're always holding this in our hearts for each other, for ourselves, and as we're reflecting the other that you are, that each person is living and has access and to abundance, and that we are on an abundant planet, that there's more than enough. We release all those programs of lack and scarcity. We let them go. Remember, we are the thought forms, the consciousness that's creating reality. I love this one, quantum bliss time. The more we attune ourselves to this way of unity consciousness, the more we find ourselves in a quantum field of limitless possibilities, the more we experience magical synchronicities and miracles, and more we feel like we're a part of some greater destiny. We feel really supported. I love saying quantum bliss time because it's showing up in the world in your bliss, in your joy, in your creative expression, and letting time be more malleable and not so linear. And so you may not, sacrifice, work hard to get what you want. You can release those thoughts and feelings, and know that time is a function of magic, and a function of infinite possibility and liberty and intention, and knowing that it might not take as much hard work as you thought in the first place to manifest. So we're releasing those upper limits of what we think is possible, and standing in more grace and our true power, in more courage. And always feeling into giving and receiving. How are you receiving fully with gratitude and grace? And how are you giving? How are you serving? We're here with each other. This world is about community and connection. So always being mindful that we are playing in this infinity loop of giving and receiving and giving and receiving, and playing with one another, sharing and expressing. So listening, talking, giving and receiving. And within this, it's safe to be you now. It's safe to be authentic. It's safe to be your honest self, and let yourself be free in your expression and your feelings and your emotion in a good way. And not pretending to be something that we see on TV, but really feeling into who you are genuinely and authentically, and being that in the world. The longer we hide who we are, or we tell mistruths, we're only holding ourselves back in the long run. And that ties in with who's showing up today. So what archetype, what avatar are you being today, and how are you bringing this into the world? And some of us wear similar hats every day, and some of us shapeshift and wear a lot of different hats. And just being mindful and having fun with this reality as a divine play, and coming into the moment knowing who's showing up, who's running the show today, and what does that person believe is possible, how does that person act, and to be really mindful of who's showing up. So holding presence in the moment, holding the maximum presence so that you can channel the most love in the moment. And depending on what hat you're putting on, how that serves the environment, the person, the space of what you're doing. And at the root of love, why, we keep asking why to our desires and wants, and we unearth those subconscious mental models of belief systems that might have been cultural, or those belief systems that we get from the TV or for advertisements that say you want this. And I ask us every day when we hear things in media or on billboards, we ask why, why of our decisions, and we keep getting to the root and core, and it's super healthy. And then we find ourselves more in alignment with our truth rather than some story around the outcome of what we desire. Know that you are fully supported in this and all moments. Know that you're supported by the earth. Know that you're supported by the universe, so you can go out into the world with an open heart and release your defenses, and know that you are fully supported and succeeding. This is a benevolent universe that only wants to see your success. Believe that and know that, and carry that, amplify that, and radiate that. And within that, you might find the inner critic coming out to judge you and tell you you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or that you have to be more, or know more, or do more. And I want you to release that inner critic. So just be mindful that that inner critic will be there. And sometimes it serves to help catapult us into our higher selves, but also be mindful of any sabotage that comes through and let it go. Just know that you're perfect, and walk with confidence, and release that inner critic and let that judgment go. Even if we sort of fake it till we make it, it's going to be a lot more productive than self-sabotage and poisoning ourselves with judgment. And then we're poisoning the world with judgment. And since there's only one of us here, we want to hold really true to being mindful and loving that inner critic, or that inner child, or that wounded self that just wants to be seen. But you know that you're perfect the way you are, and that you're supported. And I like to put a lot of emphasis on a morning ritual, some part of your morning or your day in which you sit or you move, and you activate your chi, you activate your energy in your body, and you set an intention for the day, and you ask who's showing up today. So you go out into the world radiating and amplifying your love and your energy, versus going out into the world and sort of sucking up or sponging other people's energy. And so you're showing up really strong in confidence and in love, or in grace, or in peace, or in joy, or however, enthusiasm, whatever you're choosing, and that you're amplifying that into the moment. I know a lot of us sensitive beings are very empathic, and we can easily take on others' energy. So a morning ritual really helps you set the stage and the play in motion for what kind of day you want to have. And this can look so many ways, but what's really important is that we are intending, so we're not waking up kind of in a stupor, but we're reawakening with excitement for the day, and with a plan of action to stand in our truth and to be all we can be. And within this world that works for everyone, everyone's needs are met. So we keep tuning into that. How are we matching needs? How are we serving one another? And what can we agree on? What can we align on? As we have more effectual change in the world, as the power is shifting hands, we really start to ask bigger humanitarian questions too, like, does everyone have safe water to drink and nourishing food? And how can we participate in our community? Most communities don't have safe water coming out of the drinking tap. So how can we participate in our communities to help serve one another? And in a world that works for everyone, everyone's needs are met. And this is the beginning and the end of this offering today on Unity Consciousness. I hope you enjoyed this message and transmission, and comment if you have things you want to add to these cards, and I'll see you next time. So much love.